Sid was shocked after hearing about this kidnap, but he didn't care about Alexia's condition. So Sid will just do what Xanon wants to do next. On the other hand, Alexia woke up from her stupor, and now she was being held captive by one of the members of the Diabolos cult. There was also a child who was being the subject of their experiment. Alexia also had time to think about Sid's situation. Alexia was sure Sid was tortured because he was accused of kidnapping Princess Alexia. Not long after, a professor came there, and I will name him Terry because there is no name for this character in the anime, manga, or novel. Terry had been doing this experiment for a long time to resurrect the demon lord Diabolos, and he needed the blood of a noble or descendants of heroes. Alexia's blood was perfect for resurrecting a demon lord, so Terry would take as much of Alexia's blood as possible. Then for days, Alexia's blood continued to be drawn, and Terry forced Alexia to eat unfit food. Alexia also often defends the child there and tells the professor to focus on taking Alexia's blood only. Even though Alexia can use magic, she can't untie the chain now because it has a strong magic seal. Alexia doesn't know what really happened. All Alexia could do was hope to be saved by someone. At the same time, Sid is also tortured for days in the prison cell of the Midgar Kingdom. The knights wanted Sid to tell Alexia's whereabouts, but Sid always kept quiet and acted as if he was in pain in front of the knights. Sid didn't feel anything from this torment because he had undergone harsh training in the previous world. Also, Sid's internal wounds can heal quickly because he used his healing magic. The next day, Xanon reports to Iris that Sid hasn't said anything about Alexia for days. Iris also doesn't want to suspect Alexia's friend, so Iris releases Sid from the prison cell. She asks Xanon and a few knights to keep an eye on Sid wherever he goes. Iris couldn't order many knights to find out where Alexia was. These things make greatly irritated Iris. Xanon says it's for Iris' safety because if the knights don't keep a close eye on Iris, Iris could be kidnapped too. So the royal knights will protect Iris more. After that, Iris asks Xanon to win over the other student fighting here, Claire. Claire always wanted to meet Iris because she knew that Sid was innocent. Claire thought that a man as weak as Sid was impossible to kidnap Alexia, who had strong abilities. Then Claire began to be conned by a student named Rose. Iris understood Claire's feelings because she worried about Alexia's current condition. Iris used to often have fun learning sword techniques with Alexia. However, time had passed, and Iris never played with Alexia again. Sid is finally released on orders from Iris and is watched by several guards. While Sid was returning to his apartment, he accidentally met Alpha.
後で。
久しぶりアルファ。
Alpha meets Sid because she has received news from Beta about Sid's current situation. Usually, it's Beta who visits Sid to report on the state of the Diabolos cult, but this time it was Alpha who came to Sid because she was worried about Sid's condition. The members of Shadow Garden already knew of the Diabolos cult's next plans. Delta also misses Sid because Delta hasn't seen him in a long time. Delta looking forward to this moment because she is bloodthirsty and wants to kill all criminals alone, including the Diabolos cult. Alpha said that the members of the Shadow Garden organization have grown and all girls have their own abilities. Then Alpha started to spoil Sid and asked what Alpha didn't understand. Why didn't Sid just run away when he was detained by the Midgar Kingdom? This should be easy for Sid because he has greater strength than the other Shadow Garden members. But Sid says he will continue to pretend like this as a side character. If Sid runs away from there, the accusations against him also grow more robust. Alpha is also curious. Many girls love Sid now. Then why does Sid want to be Alexia's boyfriend? But Alpha doesn't want Sid to answer that because Alpha knows that Sid must have a hidden reason behind this disguise. Then Alpha said that Sid had to wait for a while, and Alpha would report the situation again when the preparations of the Shadow Garden members were finished. Alpha also wants to avenge the behavior of the two knights who have tortured Sid in the kingdom, but Sid forbids it because they will definitely get equal revenge. A few days passed, and Alexia's condition had worsened as her blood was always drawn for Terry's experiments. while Sid is making his own happiness because he has been trying hard to raise money for years. He always acts like a Chunibyo kid making up stories in his own delusions. Sid is just waiting for reports from the other Shadow Garden members, and he also gets a letter from someone today. Not long after, Beta came and Sid said very cool sentences like a Chunibyo. Beta is amazed by this luxury. She also loves Sid very much because Sid is too handsome and has high wisdom. Beta reports that the Shadow Garden members are ready to attack the Diabolus Cult headquarters and that Alexia is definitely there. Shadow Garden members will simultaneously attack each side of the headquarters, and the main rescue target is Alexia. Gamma will lead the strategy of the Shadow Garden members, while Alpha will lead the other members to attack the Diabolus Cult headquarters. Beta will take the position of receiving each member's report, Epsilon in the rear support position, and Delta in the front line attack. Then Sid shows the letter he received today to Beta. The letter contains something like this: "If you want Alexia safe, quickly come to the location that we have shown in this letter." Sid tells Beta to contact Delta because the frontline attack will be carried out by Sid alone. Delta only needed to finish off the Diabolus Cult members around the headquarters. On the other hand, it turns out that the knight who tortured Sid earlier was a member of the Diabolus Cult. They couldn't contact the supervisor from the kingdom. If it continued like this, the Diabolus Cult's plan would fail again. Suddenly, Sid came there according to the contents of the letter he had received earlier, but he was framed again by the knight who suddenly threw Alexia's shoes. These shoes were already in his hand, so tonight, Sid was executed because he was proven to have kidnapped Alexia. Then Sid will treat their behavior with equal avenge.
こいつら見張りの
兄たち、高貴なるお声で語るや否や鮮烈な一撃。
開ければ全て終わっているのだから。デルタか。
The attack on the Shadow Garden members has begun, and all communication lines of the Diabolus Cult members have been blocked by the Alpha and Gamma forces. Delta, Epsilon had also been attacking several people secretly around the base behind the scenes. Because of that, Sid immediately went to the Diabolus headquarters alone to save Alexia and enjoyed tonight's battle. The Midgar Kingdom also saw the attack of the Shadow Garden organization. But Iris and the Knights didn't know the purpose of this attack and who did it. All places were attacked simultaneously without any reason. Then Iris told Xanon and the Knights to secure the school. At the Diabolus base, Terry was very panicked because the headquarters was attacked tonight. Everything they were after would surely vanish in an instant. Alexia was confused by this situation. She thought the knight had found Alexia's whereabouts, but apparently her guess was wrong. Also, Alexia didn't know who carried out this attack. Then Terry was forced to use Alexia's blood experiment to awaken demonic powers from the child's body. Alexia was saved by the child. She immediately opened all the chains with the key, then looked for a way out of this place. But suddenly, she meets Xanon, who is a member of the Diabolus Cult. Xanon has been building this base for a long time and is after Alexia because her blood is very suitable for experimentation. Xanon wanted to kidnap Iris, but he chose Alexia because it was easier to kidnap a girl with mediocre sword techniques.
失礼。君は姉と比べられるのが嫌いだ。姉君を真似た豪犬か。
本当に私が凡人かどうか。
Xanon had already defeated Alexia, so Alexia had to follow Xanon's words now and would never be able to escape. Not long after, our main character, a Chunibyo who disguised himself as the author of the story in this anime, appeared before Xanon and Alexia.
影に潜み、影を狩る者。我が名はシャドウ。
help me to reach 1,000 likes and 100 comments on this video, because in the next episode, you can see the incredible power of this crazy main character.